The desert wind howled like a chorus of forgotten souls, carrying with it the dust of things long buried, broken dreams, lost love, and pain no one dared speak of. His name was Carter Lane, a rancher with nothing left but his scars. His home burned down 2 winters ago. His wife, Caroline, taken by fever. His son, Jesse, lost to a mining collapse that swallowed half the mountain. People whispered that Carter wasn't right anymore, that he talked to ghosts, that the silence around him wasn't peace, it was grief made flesh. He didn't argue. What was there left to say? He wandered most days, fixing fences that didn't matter, feeding livestock that barely lived, and riding his stallion, Abel, across empty plains searching for something he couldn't name. It was on one of those rides, near the edge of the dry riverbed, that he saw her. At first, he thought she was just a mirage, another trick of the sun. But no, she was real, barely. Her dress was torn, stained with dirt and dried blood. Her eyes, sunken yet defiant, locked onto his. She didn't flinch when he stopped. She didn't ask who he was. She simply whispered, voice brittle and trembling, "Hold me. Use me. Just get me out of here," and in that moment, time itself cracked. Carter felt his heartbeat for the first time in months. She wasn't begging for lust. She was surrendering her last ounce of hope to a stranger in the dust. He dropped from his horse and pulled off his coat, wrapping it around her shaking frame. "No one's using you," he said quietly. "But I'll get you out." She didn't cry, not then. She just nodded, collapsed into his arms, and blacked out. Her name, he would learn later, was Josie. She'd been stolen from her family by men who treated human lives like livestock, locked in a cellar beneath a trading post no one dared police. She'd clawed her way out the night before, running barefoot through thorns and stone until her legs gave out. Carter carried her back to his cabin, what was left of it, and nursed her wounds, fed her broth, lit a fire that hadn't burned in weeks. For days, she said little. But her presence made the silence less cruel. He began to fix the roof. Planted new seeds in the garden. Mended a quilt his wife had started before the fever took her. Josie helped where she could, though her hands still trembled, and shadows danced behind her eyes. One evening, as the sun bled over the hills, she finally spoke her story, all of it. The capture, the abuse, the screams, the silence, the darkness so thick she'd forgotten stars existed. And when she finished, Carter didn't tell her she was strong. He didn't say time would heal it. He just held her, and that was enough. Over time, Josie began to smile, even if faintly. She'd sit on the porch, feet tucked beneath her, humming tunes from her childhood. Carter would watch her, wondering how someone so broken could still be so alive. Then came the day the men who took her returned. They weren't looking for her. They were just passing through, loud, drunk, bragging about their goods. Josie froze at the sound of their laughter. Carter didn't hesitate. He saddled Abel, loaded his rifle, and rode into town. What happened next became legend. They said he walked into the saloon like a storm, calm but deadly. Said he didn't speak more than 10 words. Just named their sins. Just looked each man in the eye before justice fell like a hammer. When it was done, Carter didn't gloat. He just rode home, blood on his coat, eyes steady. Josie met him at the door, her lips trembling, hands tight around a cup of tea she'd made. "You didn't have to do that," she said. "I did," he replied. "Because no one ever did for me." That night, they didn't make love. They just held each other, 2 broken souls finally warm. Weeks passed. The garden bloomed. The wind softened. Josie laughed louder now, sang while sweeping the porch. Carter smiled more, found purpose in things he'd forgotten, in her. One morning, she found an old ring in a drawer, covered in dust. It had been Caroline's. She brought it to him, unsure. He took it gently, then slipped it onto her finger without a word. They didn't need vows. They'd already made them in fire and silence and tears. Their love wasn't loud. It was steady, real, unshakable. A story born from ruin, now blooming in the dry soil of redemption. So if this tale stirred something in your soul, if it reminded you that even in your darkest moment, someone might still choose to fight for you, then don't let it end here. Subscribe to the channel for more stories that move your heart, challenge your spirit, and remind you what it means to be human. Because in the end, we're all just searching for someone who looks at us and says, "You don't have to stay broken."